The world's 25 most beautiful cities, according to Science. 25. Beijing, China's sprawling capital, has history stretching back 3 millennia. Yet it's known as much for modern architecture as its ancient sites such as the Grand Forbidden City complex, the Imperial Palace during the Ming and Qing dynasties. Nearby, the massive Tiananmen Square pedestrian plaza is the site of Mao Zedong's mausoleum and the National Museum of China, displaying a vast collection of cultural relics. 24. Miami, the Magic City, and Gateway to the Americas, is a major city, a coastal metropolis and the county seat of Miami-Dade County in South Florida, United States. With a population of 442,241 at the 2020 census, it is the second most populous city in Florida. Downtown Miami has one of the largest concentrations of international banks in the U.S. and is home to many large national and international companies. 23. Dubai City in the United Arab Emirates. The city has a population of around 3.5 million. Established in the 18th century as a small fishing village, the city grew rapidly in the early 21st century with a focus on tourism and luxury, having the second most 5-star hotels in the world, and the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, which is 828 meters (2,717 feet) tall. 22. Strasbourg is the capital city of the Grand Est region, formerly Alsace, in northeastern France. It's also the formal seat of the European Parliament and sits near the German border, with culture and architecture blending German and French influences. Its Gothic cathedral Notre Dame features daily shows from its astronomical clock and sweeping views of the Rhine River from partway up its 142-meter spire. 21. St. Petersburg, formerly known as Petrograd, 1914–1924, and later Leningrad, 1924–1991, is the second largest city in Russia. It is situated on the Neva River, at the head of the Gulf of Finland on the Baltic Sea. The city had a population of roughly 5.6 million residents as of 2021. St. Petersburg is the fourth most populous city in Europe. Istanbul, formerly known as Constantinopolis, is the largest city in Turkey, serving as the country's economic, cultural and historic hub. The city straddles the Bosporus Strait, lying in both Europe and Asia, and has a population of over 15 million residents, comprising 19% of the population of Turkey. Istanbul is the most populous European city, and the world's 15th largest city. 19. Berlin, Germany's capital, dates to the 13th century. Reminders of the city's turbulent 20th-century history include its Holocaust memorial and the Berlin Wall's graffitied remains. Divided during the Cold War, its 18th-century Brandenburg Gate has become a symbol of reunification. The city's also known for its art scene and modern landmarks like the gold-colored, swoop-roofed Berliner Philharmonie, built in 1996. 18. Amsterdam is the Netherlands' capital, known for its artistic heritage, elaborate canal system and narrow houses with gabled facades, legacies of the city's 17th-century Golden Age. Its museum district houses the Van Gogh Museum, works by Rembrandt and Vermeer at the Rijksmuseum, and modern art at the Stedelijk. Cycling is key to the city's character, and there are numerous bike paths. 17. Chicago, on Lake Michigan in Illinois, is among the largest cities in the U.S. famed for its bold architecture. It has a skyline punctuated by skyscrapers such as the iconic John Hancock Center, 1,451 ft. Willis Tower, formerly the Sears Tower, and the Neo-Gothic Tribune Tower. The city is also renowned for its museums, including the Art Institute of Chicago with its noted Impressionist and Post-Impressionist works. 16. Marrakech, a former imperial city in western Morocco, is a major economic center and home to mosques, palaces and gardens. The Medina is a densely packed, walled medieval city dating to the Berber Empire, with maze-like alleys where thriving souks, marketplaces, sell traditional textiles, pottery and jewelry. A symbol of the city, and visible for miles, is the Moorish minaret of 12th-century Kutubiyya Mosque. Copenhagen, Denmark's capital, sits on the coastal islands of Zealand and Amager. It's linked to Malmö in southern Sweden by the Øresund Bridge. Indre By, the city's historic centre, contains Fredrikstaden, an 18th-century Rococo district, home to the royal family's Amalienborg Palace. Nearby is Christianborg Palace and the Renaissance-era Rosenborg Castle, surrounded by gardens and home to the crown jewels. 14. Tel Aviv, a city on Israel's Mediterranean coast, is marked by stark 1930s Bauhaus buildings, thousands of which are clustered in the White City architectural area. Museums include Beit Hatfutsot, whose multimedia exhibits illustrate the history of Jewish communities worldwide. 13. Florence, capital of Italy's Tuscany region, is home to many masterpieces of Renaissance art and architecture. One of its most iconic sites is the Duomo, a cathedral with a terracotta tiled dome engineered by Brunelleschi and a bell tower by Giotto. The present glory of Florence is mainly its past. Indeed, its historic center was inscribed on UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1982. 12. Paris, France's capital, is a major European city and a global center for art, fashion, gastronomy and culture. Its 19th-century cityscape is crisscrossed by wide boulevards and the River Seine. Beyond such landmarks as the Eiffel Tower and the 12th-century, Gothic Notre Dame Cathedral, the city is known for its café culture and designer boutiques along the Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honoré. 11. Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, encompasses 14 islands and more than 50 bridges on an extensive Baltic Sea archipelago. The cobblestone streets and ochre-colored buildings of Gamla stan, the Old Town, are home to the 13th-century Storkirken Cathedral, the Kungliga Slottet Royal Palace and the Nobel Museum, which focuses on the Nobel Prize. Ferries and sightseeing boats shuttle passengers between the islands. 10. Milan, a metropolis in Italy's northern Lombardy region, is a global capital of fashion and design. Home to the National Stock Exchange, it's a financial hub also known for its high-end restaurants and shops. The Gothic Duomo di Milano Cathedral and the Santa Maria della Grazie Convent, housing Leonardo da Vinci's mural, The Last Supper, testify to centuries of art and culture. 9. Bordeaux, hub of the famed wine-growing region, is a port city on the Garonne River in southwestern France. It's known for its Gothic Cathédrale Saint-André, 18th to 19th century mansions and notable art museums such as the Musée des Beaux-Arts de Bordeaux. Public gardens line the curving river quays. The Grand Place de la Bourse, centered on the Three Graces fountain, overlooks the Miroir d'eau reflecting pool. 8. Vienna, Austria's capital, lies in the country's east on the Danube River. Its artistic and intellectual legacy was shaped by residents including Mozart, Beethoven and Sigmund Freud. The city is also known for its imperial palaces, including Schönbrunn, the Habsburgs' summer residence. In the museum's Quartier district, historic and contemporary buildings display works by Egon Schiele, Gustav Klimt and other artists. 7. Budapest, Hungary's capital, is bisected by the river Danube. Its 19th-century chain bridge connects the hilly Buda district with flat Pest. A funicular runs up Castle Hill to Buda's Old Town, where the Budapest History Museum traces city life from Roman times onward. Trinity Square is home to 13th-century Matthias Church and the turrets of the Fisherman's Bastion, which offer sweeping views. 6. Athens is the capital of Greece. It was also at the heart of ancient Greece, a powerful civilization and empire. The city is still dominated by 5th century BC landmarks, including the Acropolis, a hilltop citadel topped with ancient buildings like the colonnaded Parthenon Temple. The Acropolis Museum, along with the National Archaeological Museum, preserves sculptures, vases, jewelry and more from ancient Greece. 5. New York City comprises 5 boroughs sitting where the Hudson River meets the Atlantic Ocean. At its core is Manhattan, a densely populated borough that's among the world's major commercial, financial and cultural centers. Its iconic sites include skyscrapers such as the Empire State Building and sprawling Central Park. Broadway Theatre is staged in neon-lit Times Square. 4. Prague, capital city of the Czech Republic, is bisected by the Vltava River. Nicknamed, the City of 100 Spires, it's known for its Old Town Square, the heart of its historic core, with colorful Baroque buildings, Gothic churches and the medieval astronomical clock, which gives an animated hourly show. Completed in 1402, pedestrian Charles Bridge is lined with statues of Catholic saints. 3. Barcelona, the cosmopolitan capital of Spain's Catalonia region, is known for its art and architecture. The fantastical Sagrada Familia Church and other modernist landmarks designed by Antoni Gaudí dot the city. Museu Picasso and Fundació Joan Miró feature modern art by their namesakes. City History Museum MUHBA, includes several Roman archaeological sites. 2. Rome, the «eternal city», brims with ancient history, from the Colosseum to the port of Ostia Antica to majestic Vatican City and the Sistine Chapel. Because of its history, art, architecture, and beauty, and perhaps its gelato and pasta. Rome is one of our most popular cities. For well over a millennium, Rome controlled the destiny of all civilization known to Europe, but then it fell into dissolution and disrepair. 1. Venice, the capital of northern Italy's Veneto region, is built on more than 100 small islands in a lagoon in the Adriatic Sea. It has no roads, just canals, including the Grand Canal thoroughfare, lined with Renaissance and Gothic palaces. The central square, Piazza San Marco, contains St. Mark's Basilica, which is tiled with Byzantine mosaics, and the Campanile bell tower offering views of the city's red roofs.